Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
Hey, friends, and welcome to I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. I'm Tyler Weiskup, joined by my co-host who, like the brand Ring, saves this podcast by the bell. It's Becca Sudbeck.
Hi, Tyler.
Yep, that one was real bad.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited to introduce our other co-host. She's the voice assistant you actually want to hear. It's Hilary Waltemath.
Hey, Tyler.
Hi, Hilary. I would listen to your voice as a voice assistant.
Well, you have to in here. So
100%. That's why I said it. But I'm so excited that you're here. This month, our theme is your home's ultimate guide to kid and pet solutions. And today's topic is smart home tech. So we've brought back two NFM greats. So excited to have them back.
Hello.
Erik Palacio.
Yes. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Erik. And Tullis.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yes, of course. They're going to talk to us about some specific scenarios. I think that we've dreamt up about what a lot of our customers are looking for, to give us some ideas of specific tech that will help you make your home kid and pet friendly. So, but before we get to that, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast, and that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life, and you can learn more at nfm.com. Okay, so I will quickly introduce you to, like we did before, Erik. You have been with the company 10 years.
Yeah. Yes.
You're a certified electronics designer and podcast fan favorite.
Yes.
And I think the last comment that we had on you personally is that you're tallish, because your social footprint is
oh wait, yeah, you did say that last time.
Very light.
Yes.
So I
Not
think
a big social media person, I guess.
no.
any tidbits? You were out on a job site today.
Yeah. No. I was at a job site. I'm trying to think of something that's fun. What did I say last time? I'm really good with dogs. That I remember saying that.
Yeah. Which is important to today's topic.
Yes, it
This
is.
is going to work out perfectly.
Yes. Yeah, that's really all you need to know about me is I'm good with dogs. So you know I'm a good
Tallish,
person.
good
And
with
I'm
dogs.
tallish.
We're learning
And I
more and
don't
more
post
each time.
We're going to
Green
crack
flags,
this
I
nut
would
someday.
say.
Well, welcome, Erik. And Cliff, you've also been with NFM about 10 years.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Keep me young. I appreciate it.
Older than that now.
Yeah, I'm on year 13.
13.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it's
wow,
creeping up there.
gosh.
In my
Cliff,
teens.
that's great.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Appreciate
And you've got delivery ops to flooring, now electronics installation, managing. Personally, you're married and have some kiddos, right?
I do. Yeah, I've got a 7 and 9-year-old. They are fantastic. That's where I spend all my energy.
Yeah.
And then, collecting experience around the company, like, Thanos collects Infinity Stones.
That's
the goal.
love that collecting experience.
So dirty. I love it. Well, welcome back to the podcast to both of you. So again, here's what I'm thinking. We've got these various scenarios. We're going to discuss some practical solutions to those scenarios with your expertise. And I know that you've probably done jobs that are similar. So if we have like a stray specific solution that you implement, that'd be great to talk about too.
Absolutely.
All right. Ready to jump in?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so the first group that we have is the growing family. This is more of like young children. They need a home that's safe, that's easy to manage, and for parents, they want to be able to keep their eyes on those little guys. So let's start broad. What are some of the most requested or suggested smart home solutions that you recommend for growing families?
Yeah, honestly, one of the first ones that comes to mind is probably as simple as just like a smart thermostat. Controlling the temperature in the house should be as easy as just opening an app on your phone. Some of them are actually voice activated too, so we can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
As well as, especially with kids coming in and out of the door, a lot of times we get the request of, I need something that keeps track if the door's left open, or if my gate's left open. Especially if they have dogs or something like that.
Yeah. good point.
And then like smart deadbolts in general too, where we'll have a keypad that you can give out. All your kids can have one. Some of them will actually notify you if you have 3 kids that you can give out 3 individual codes, and it'll notify you right when each kid gets home.
Oh, wow.
So which is super helpful for
Yeah.
school, if they have different bus schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most common thing that I can think of is the smart thermostats, smart deadbolts, and the like door sensors.
Well, and one thing I want to add too with those locks, right? A lot of our, kids have friends and they all want to come over and hang out and play Xbox or whatever it might be. Luckily, kids are getting out of their phones and hanging out again. You can give each one of those kids a specific code, right? So that kid or that friend came over and have it terminate at the end of the day or last for a specific amount of time. It's actually really, really nice. And I think about my own kids, they leave the door just wide open sometimes.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Come on,
You
in,
live in a
burglar.
barn.
Yeah, we don't care. My bike's
Inviting
outside.
anybody and anything. Right?
I just totally ajar, right? So it's having something like that sets off the door's been open for 5 minutes and no one's home kind of thing is really fantastic for someone like me.
Yeah.
They invited the naughty friend over that
Oh,
eats
God.
all the
There's always
the
one
snacks.
right at the end of the block on the corner house, not to be too specific.
Oh, I'm so glad this didn't exist when I was a kid. That
Right?
sounds amazing for parents now.
What kind of stuff were you up to, Hilary? Why would that? Okay, we're just gonna reading and going to the
Redecorating
library.
my room.
Yeah,
Lots of
sometimes you'd be
Monopoly,
back
yeah.
from
Yes.
late from the library, but
Yeah.
that's just because you were just into studying so
Yeah.
much. I understand.
Yep.
Okay, how long have they had that technology where it's like the specific codes? Is that like a new development for the deadbolts? That's been around for a little while.
It's been around for a little while, yeah. I probably couldn't put a year on it, but probably within the second generation of the smart deadbolts when those came out, they
Yeah.
definitely had that, yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly
Awesome.
something that's tried and true.
Yeah.
It's fairly newish, right? But it's something that is consistent, right? We've done it in a lot of homes.
Yeah, it's so
and
simple and easy and
so
just
simple and easy.
effective. I like that.
So
Actually,
you can't lose your keys.
Yeah.
Right.
well,
Small change with a big
Yeah.
impact.
I was
right?
just about to say I've lost my keys so many times. I still don't have this technology in my house, and I got made fun of really, really hard by a friend because we had them check on our pet during when we were out of town, and she's like, "What century do you live in? I don't want your keys." Like,
Keys gross.
Yeah, no.
What do I do with this?
direct quote. Yes, so I like this idea a lot.
I have one question about this.
Mhm.
Is it so? Are you talking about the ones that like have like the keypad on them,
Yeah, you can.
or are there other options?
There's a ton of options.
Okay. So
The
like
most
if you
common
don't want then the one that's that big, like are there options for
Yeah.
sleeker looking ones?
There's actually one where you can retrofit the existing deadbolt. So
yes,
your
okay.
existing key, it looks like just a regular deadbolt on the outside of the house, but on the inside, it's the smart portion of that.
Okay.
And then there's an accessory where you can have a keypad, but most of the time people will just use their phone. And
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
okay,
that
okay,
option. Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
you don't have to have that keypad. You could use your phone.
Correct.
to
Correct.
unlock
Yep.
it.
You can have
Okay.
whatever standard deadbolt you want, and then just replace the inside with the smart one. Yeah. Good question.
So it's like
though.
an app on your phone.
It can be.
Okay.
Yep.
What if you don't have a phone? Like for a kid that might not have a phone.
Yeah. Then
Do
you would
have that
definitely
sell
want to
on
have
here,
like a
so-
separate keep.
Okay.
We'll get them a phone.
They would love a phone, I bet.
True.
The deadbolt phone.
I need a phone.
Yeah,
so I
we
can
can
unlock
take
the
care of
door.
it.
We
Don't you
replaced the
worry.
small metal key with a phone. So
It's for your own safety. Come on.
Oh, yes, every kid says sign me up.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure there's I'm trying to think of the other plan, but that brings up a good question of I know for sure there is a dedicated keypad accessory you can buy
Yeah.
where you don't have to have it on the door. You could have it
Yeah,
where
okay,
the
somewhere
doorbell
else.
is or
Okay,
something.
okay,
And then they can still have
Okay.
a code that way.
okay.
Cool.
wow.
Great questions. I had one. I know, like, especially growing families, if you got babies, like baby monitors, is that something that, like, has that technology changed a lot from the days when they were just more like glorified walkie-talkies?
Besides range, I know specifically about this because I used to sell baby monitors.
Yeah.
Besides the radio technology inside, just the listening ones,
Uh-huh.
that's the only thing that's changed. They do the same thing.
Oh,
now.
no kidding.
So the range has increased dramatically versus, just you have to be in this near the room. Now you could be around the house and still be able to hear the baby.
Yeah.
And then they've obviously have upgraded to cameras, and then cameras that have where you can pan them around and stuff like that. So that's kind of the evolution that I've seen of, baby monitors and such. Some of them are really handy. They will have temperature sensor for the room. And a lot of parents care about that too, to make sure
Interesting,
that,
yeah.
that's being monitored too.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's a little bit more evolved, but not like
Yeah.
we're talking the 1900s versus like the 2000s, right? Where
But aren't there ones that you
Nothing.
can like essentially like hook up, like it's on your cell phone, so you could be anywhere and you could check on them,
Easily. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
which I feel, I mean, that
that's
did
a good
not,
development.
that did
That's
not
a good
exist.
development.
Is it though?
No, you don't.
I don't
think so?
know. I mean, I think it is and it isn't.
How much do you trust your babysitter?
Big brothering your infant.
100%. I mean, no, I think I think it provides the freedom if you have the control to not be crazily obsessed with looking at that thing every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we'll leave that up to you to decide.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
the
I'm like
first
that with
one,
my
anyways.
dog.
Yes.
I don't, so I get it.
Okay. Are there any like specific examples that you remember outfitting like a home, a growing family, and things that they requested, maybe that we've talked about already or haven't talked about?
The first one that comes to mind is really probably the most recent one that I did, where it was 2 kids and they wanted the capability to play their own music at the same time, at different times of the day.
Yeah,
But the
interesting.
parents wanted to be able to have like master control over it,
Mm.
because if it was too loud, they wanted to be able to control
yeah.
how loud they
of
can
course.
get,
Right.
or adjust it, or pause the media that's going on to or make an
Get 'em down
announcement
at
through the
dinner.
speakers
Oh,
too.
yeah.
That's a cool thing too, is with some of the voice assistants is you can
it's dinner
say
time.
yeah, it's dinner time, or you're in trouble, come to the living room, or
Principal
what-
called.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
pretty much similar to that.
Eric
Um,
Matthew Palacio.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And we'll so that was a particular use case where I did a site survey for that, and we talked about the products that are out there for that, and which was really cool too,
Yeah.
because
Good example.
that was a perfect solution for what they needed, to where it's just a smart speaker per kid's room, and then one of the smart voice assistant enabled wherever the parent needed to be
Gotcha.
at,
Mhm.
and that, yeah, pretty
Gotcha.
cool.
I love that. That's a
Wow.
great example. Okay. Are we ready for the next scenario?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. This one's called the busy household. There may be a little bit of crossover, but hopefully we can get into some new ground. I'm thinking more in the scenario. It's a little bit more of the school age, multiple schedules, smart home technology that we're looking for is more about like managing time, providing entertainment, that kind of thing. Go-to solutions that typically you will see for folks within this age group. Thoughts?
Yeah. My first thought would be the voice assistants again are going to come into play.
Yeah.
They are super handy at managing calendar, managing reminders, events. You can set, multiple scenes and have the kid and let the kids kind of have a little bit of structure when they get home, where, okay, you got to do homework for this amount of time, then the TV can turn on. But every day at 8:00, that TV's coming off, or 7:30, whatever bedtime needs to be. And then the other thing that's important as well is most kids are going to have their own devices that are connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to be monitoring and making sure they're browsing the internet safely. We have routers that have that capability to do that too. You can pool all of the devices that fall under that kid, and make sure, if you wanted to, you could turn internet off, or you can just make sure and block certain websites that they shouldn't be going on. Stuff like that. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But
Yeah, I mean, even right, you talk about some of the evening times where you talk about waking up in the morning, right? We can set those scenes to say good morning, and certain lights come on and certain temperatures get set in the home, and things like that can help get that routine going in the morning, while you're downstairs and the kids are upstairs or whatever it might be. Even afterwards, right, in the evenings as things start to wind down, you talked about bedtimes and things like that. We can use the temperature of the lighting and things like that to start to slow things down in the evening. It has a way bigger effect than you would even think.
Yeah.
Even your outdoor lights, we do landscape lighting as well, right? So keeping your trees lit up at night, keeping your front door lit, right? Not having to think about those things
Mhm.
and just have them happen on a schedule or based on whatever voice command you might give it while you're trying to give the kids a bath and wash all their soccer stuff and put their bike away. And again, getting too personal about the kid on the corner. He's always leaving his bike around, dude. Anyway, it can take away some of those things off your mind, right? Just knowing that they're automatically going to happen based on what you set up.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love an impromptu dance party when you say, Alexa,
Right.
play some music?
Right.
Party time.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Party
one
mode,
thing I've
man.
noticed is I'm actually currently babysitting right now, and the kids that I'm babysitting are 6 and 12, the ones that I interact with the most, and they every morning they ask Alexa what the temperature is. And it took me until today to realize just now they're using it to see what they should be wearing for school because they take the bus.
Right.
So
How
they
to dress appropriately.
Yeah. So they have that
Smart.
autonomy. So that is also a good point too, is in the
Yeah.
morning, that could be part of a routine where Alexa tells them the temperature of the day, turns on the TV for 10 minutes, or tells them, what they need to do before school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, we talk about even like smart appliances. We don't dive too much into it, but if you want to set something to preheat while you're out back, picking up weeds or whatever, and it's getting close to dinner time and you don't have to stop what you're doing to go preheat the oven, you can set a scene, right? Or set a schedule, or use your voice to command to say preheat to 350, right? Or whatever it might be.
Because if I come inside from weeding,
it's over.
It's not going back out there. That's not going to get done.
I'm with you.
I like that. That's a great solution.
I have a specific Alexa question.
Mm-hmm. I
So
might know
you're
the answer.
talking about having like each kid has a speaker in their room and it can make announcements, but can you turn that off so they can only listen to it until a certain time, or no? I have a few
I
that like
think
to
there's a
listen
way
to stuff way past their bedtime.
Really?
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a way for you to disable maybe there is. I think there's a way for you to set a scene to where the microphone mutes at a certain time of day, and then they can't
Hear it, even if
they can't bark at Alexa, to be able to give the command. But yeah, I don't know. I know there's a way to stop all media. So, at 8:00 every night, stop all media that's on each, individual Alexa.
Okay.
There is a way to do that.
Okay.
Currently.
I
but
tried to put it on do not disturb, but that doesn't work.
Yeah, I think that's
She'll
for
still-
notifications or something. So.
Yeah, notifications will stop, but she still listens.
She
if
can
they
still
ask-
take the
if they
commands,
ask her
yeah.
to do something like
Yeah.
read me a book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep reading me books at midnight.
I went into one of my kids' rooms. I think it was yesterday morning, and the book was still going. It went all night.
Oh.
Something to fall asleep to. That's nice.
Yeah.
Read me another
I
one.
need someone to read to me.
I'm like, has this been playing all night? And she's like, I think so.
She's like, the grind never stops. It's always
She's
reading.
like, it's an 11-hour book.
Maybe
Well-
she's just hacking her brain and trying to go through War and Peace at night. I don't you just get that in the background.
I don't know if that's
subliminally.
I don't know.
No?
Anyways,
Okay. All right. Well,
I need to look into it more then.
Yeah.
Sleep
Or
mode.
we look into a smart router and turn off that device at 8:00,
All
and then
right.
it can't
Okay.
reach.
Okay.
Then it's
the
all
smart
over.
services.
All
All
right.
right.
We'll keep it
think
geared
I'll be
towards
reaching out.
solutions.
Yeah. Becca's eyes lit up.
I've tried. Help me.
Okay, next scenario, if we're ready for it. The teen years. This is getting a little bit more of independence with smart home technology. We're talking about solutions for peace of mind, so that people are not going to things that they're not supposed to. What are some of the more requested things of folks within this age group?
We've installed more security cameras in this. I feel like this year, the start of the quarter, than I feel like we've ever done before.
Really?
So yeah, a lot of security cameras, and those can be retrofitted to where they're hardwired or wireless. So we don't necessarily need a wire everywhere you want a camera to cover. And I feel like cameras is the biggest thing. Security systems is also in with the cameras too, to where if the basement door slides open, you want that to chime upstairs so so who's opening the basement door. Is it the kid next door that is cool to come over or not? But yeah, I think I would say cameras is probably the most common thing that I've seen.
Man, and I kind of want you to talk about this, and I'm going to set you up a little bit, but these AI cameras that we have now that can recognize so much information, you can set up exactly what it looks at. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have a vendor who has this onboard processing AI capability to where it'll recognize cars, trucks, SUVs, animals, people, colors of the cars, to where if something happens, and read license plates and save all of this stuff locally. No subscription fee, no monthly fee with that. But if something happened, you could go back and say, I need to look at every single blue SUV, and you would hit the filter for blue SUV and it would pull up every single thing.
Whoa.
So the AI is being built in on board of these cameras is super cool. You'll see it very commonly on doorbell cameras now too, to where the onboard machine learning is like, hey, a package just got delivered at your door. Hey, your package just got picked up. Those will be 2 individual notifications, which is really, really cool and helpful. Just, stuff for peace of mind. And front doorbell cameras is something that I also forgot to mention. Is we've done a lot of, that is included in the cameras, I guess, but we've done a lot of those too, where the AI is built in right on that.
Yeah. They're very, very cool. I know a lot of times you can get cameras where you want to pick up motion, right? But every car that drives by, you
what
don't
about
want
the
those.
like our camera picks up like a leaf, like if it's really windy, like all the leaves blowing by.
Yeah, a flag blowing, right? So on these ones, you can go to the screen, draw on there the section you want it to monitor, and it'll ignore everything else, right? There's all kinds of little gadgets in there that make it very, very custom to what you need. It's a very cool feature. So those cameras are really nice to see if little Timmy keeps showing up at 11 o'clock at night, even though the curfew. I mean, I'm sorry. Getting this kid on the corner is a nightmare.
Get it together.
You got Timmy, you got the bike problem.
Man,
I mean, Cliff, goodness gracious. I feel like
the
maybe this episode can be a little bit of therapy for you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Of course, happy to provide that.
Yeah.
Any advice? I know that we've talked a little bit about like being able to monitor the smart tech in like the gadgets and things that our family is going to. Are there like go-to platforms that you send people typically to when we're trying to like manage something at a high scale, like at permissions and when things turn on and stuff like that?
It all, I wish I could answer that, but it really is, everything's custom. Everything like depends on what they're going to use it for. I will say the most common platform that I have, successfully handed off and had, really good client feedback is probably with the voice assistants, Google, OK Google and, Alexa.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many devices that are compatible with all those to where they kind of fit a variety of use cases. Smart outlets, will be able to turn off that Alexa in her room, that I'm thinking of trying to solve that problem still.
Oh, yeah.
That would work. And, smart light bulbs, that can be the alarm for the kid, so really one of those two platforms to answer the question is probably what I would say.
I would add, you mentioned it a couple of times, those smart routers too that sit on your home network that you can manage and schedule. Those things are clutch, right? Talk about being able to disable Alexa or set it for a specific time when it does work. You can make it intermittent throughout the day. You can set the number of devices that can connect to it. If you've got dinner plans, whatever it might be, it's very custom, like you said, right? That's not a negative. That's absolutely a positive. We can make it for you. We can make it for you and make it for you. And it's all the same product, but it's different for each of you so that it fits what you need. It's really that customizable and should be, right?
Would that be like an Eero? Or is that
similar to Eero? There's Orbi is also the other version that's out there.
See, I mean, I've tried, you guys, but I think I need more.
Yeah.
you gotta spend more time with Erik.
Yeah, we'll hook you up. We got a couple different options.
Is there any technology for voice activated pizza or smart mirrors that give fashion advice, anything like that?
Coming. I'm sure they're working on it.
Okay, all right.
It's a good thing you're in the job you're in. Not something else.
What do you mean?
I like the idea. Okay. I don't know if anyone's thought of that yet.
All right.
I haven't gotten that request yet.
I'm going to wrap up here. Last scenario is more around like the pet-friendly home smart tech. I know that we got a lot of fur babies listening on the podcast. What are some good examples of technology that works for this group?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my dog first, Wallace. You're the best.
Wallace.
Options that exist out there are something like kind of smart pet feeders, where that can be scheduled and it can be customized to the serving size. And it's that is a huge thing that we've seen kind of explode really over the past 3 years is, having people spend more money on their pets. And I'm totally guilty of that.
Same.
And then also pet cameras too. You want to make sure, when your dogs are, out in the backyard, or even kids, put this on there too, is you want to make sure they're not going out of where you told them they can't go out of, and inside too. If your pet roams free or you want to be able to check on your pet in the crate, having an indoor camera with video and audio helps a ton. That's what I've seen. There is an indoor pet camera that you can also give treats on too. That's pretty cool.
That's what I was gonna mention. It like shoots up in the air. It's so fun.
It shoots in the air.
It's a
Oh.
fun little game to watch if you're
Watch
ever.
them catch it.
Yeah.
If you're on your
But it
lunch
has
break,
to be
just-
high enough to where the
Yeah.
dog can't
Okay.
just like go tip it over.
Oh.
There's videos of that exist of that
Sure.
happening.
Smart dogs. Like, I'll figure this how to get all
Right, yeah.
these treats.
Smart dogs figure out smart tools. Yeah.
Yeah, we've used a camera. We foster pretty frequently, and oftentimes
Fantastic.
when we take the foster dog in, they need some time to decompress before you just bring this dog from whatever condition with our existing pet. And so they kind of decompress in their own little room, and we've set a camera up in there so we can, because we keep the door closed just to like give them time to
Oh, yeah.
chill out. But that has been really helpful in just like checking in to make sure that they're doing okay without like disrupting it. So that is, having a camera has helped us a
Yeah,
ton.
indoor cameras are super popular.
Uh-huh.
Well, and we keep talking about making sure the dog's doing okay, but let's talk
Mhm.
about the peace of mind that you
Yes,
get, right? It's making
yes.
sure that you're okay and that you're
Yes.
good too. You can move on with your day without having to
Uh-huh.
worry about some of these things. Yeah, the dog's all right, but it helps you be okay too, for sure.
Yeah, totally. Because we've created a ritual where we like keep the dogs separated, and then we go have like dinner or something. But like we can like check in to see that they haven't
Oh, yeah.
like busted out or
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
like I don't know, they're not like
They've eaten the pillow, and now I
Yes.
got to rush them to the emergency
yes,
room. Yeah.
And you can get some cute screenshots.
Yes,
Let's admit.
yes. And we
Yeah.
always like, because we can rename it. So we'll rename it like right now our foster dog is Tyson. So it's Tyson TV. So we'll just like watch
Love.
Tyson
Tyson
TV for a little bit.
I
Well,
love that.
subscribe.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Changing my camera name now. That's a
The
good
Wallace
idea.
TV.
Yes.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Are there any solutions like it within either this category or any of them that you're surprised that more customers don't ask about, or like you're like, this was one that like really is going to solve a lot of problems, but people never ask for it? I'm
Everyone
surprised.
should have it.
Just curious.
I'll take this one. I kind of, once you have like a smart calendar in like a common spot of the home, especially with growing families, that Alexa show, like the 15, so helpful.
Yeah.
You can have different tiles. It can tell you the weather. It's a full Alexa device. So you can do routines and, control your smart home with that. But that has helped a ton. Just knowing, oh, the kids have an early out, or, today they have a doctor's appointment, or tonight, they have a musical or something like that. That I am so surprised that tool is not used more. That is what comes to mind for that.
Yeah, for me, I would say lighting, right? I've maybe because I've recently discovered the importance of lighting and
Yeah.
the impact that it can have on you, but especially outdoor lighting. Once you see it on your home,
Mhm.
you
It
can't
looks great.
kind of can't
Yeah.
live without it,
Yeah.
right? It goes away, and you're like, God, it's really dark over
Uh-huh.
here or in this corner. Once you see it, it's something you gotta have. So I think that's something important. We talked about security a lot today. If you drive down a block and you're a robber, I can see it in you.
Mhm.
But you see two dark houses and one lit up. Which one you gonna pick, right? So
right.
a lot of people don't think about that. They just think it's decorative. But man, once you see it, it's hard to get it out of your eye.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
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 And when the lights out, Timmy's probably not going to come.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, sneak into
I
that.
just-
Try to sneak in.
I've got to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
something out with
Yeah,
that.
and you won't trip over the
Nightmare.
bike. Yeah, so we come full circle. All
Did
right.
you use one of those AI cameras to recognize Timmy's face and
Oh,
then
alert.
tell him like, Timmy, go away.
Timmy, I can see you.
Timmy,
Yeah.
you cannot come over right now.
God, he's always hungry.
Yeah, the house
Eating
at
up on
home.
Timmy,
food.
did you
No.
already eat dinner?
Every time I'm in the
If
kitchen,
not,
you
go home.
Okay, well, thank you, Eric and Cliff. You were clearly smart people for the smart topic. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. I also want to thank our co-hosts, Becca and Hilary, our producer, and today, and you listeners. We appreciate you, and we want to hear from you too. So check out our website at nfm.com/podcast to send us your questions. But bye for now, and remember, home is what you make it.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weiskup, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.